Well, what's going on YouTube? It's the Natural Born Thriller to All Elite Wrestling Review, the show from August 18th, 2020. This will be your AEW Dark results. You have not only Mike Tenay, Taz, but Veda Scott. She's on commentary. For those who know well, actually, Veda Scott. Veda. But for those who don't know who Veda Scott is, Veda Scott, she used, well, I don't know if she still is. I have to really check, but she basically has been known for Ring of Honor ever since to being a manager. Her gimmick is that she's a lawyer and she's a indie wrestler. So Veda Scott used to manage the current TNA World Heavyweight Champion in Impact Wrestling right now. She used to manage Moose. Also used to manage guys like Cheeseburger and basically where it pertains to Cheeseburger being team of Moose at one point. But she most likely was known to manage Moose, and she used to manage Cedric Alexander in WWE. And Veda Scott, she's been AW now. So the whole women's tag team, the women's tag team champion, the women's tag team cup tournament, to say, not championship. No championships. Just the cup. That's all there is. But yes, she's been commentary with Tony Schiavone during those times, and I will give you those coverage of that eventually once we get to Saturdays, which is later on tonight. But yeah, we'll get to that once we get to it. So by the way, folks, I was not planning on doing a live, a live public, to do the coverage of AEW Dark. But you know what? I like, why not? I'll just do it anyways. I just don't not do about just doing it public and everything. So just to get out of the way, and there you go. So like I said, let's get into the show here. So yeah, we had a three commentator. All we needed, to really feel like his American Idol vibe, is have Veda Scott sit in the middle while Taz sit on the left side of I seen it. For just me watching on TV, best watching on TV, obviously, and yeah, that way it would be nice. It would have been a real winner of everything's to American Idol thing. So, but you really don't want me to talk about American Idol. You want me to talk about wrestling here. So let's get to the wrestling here. They were at this place, obviously, in Jacksonville, Florida. The opening match was Michael Nakazawa versus Super Bad Kip Sabian, accompanied by the Bad Girl, Penelope Ford. So the match itself, it was a match that had silliness in the match, and Kip Sabian wins. Not much to say about it. Next we get Sean Dean teaming up with some guy named Frank Stone, which I thought Frank Stone looked good in the match against Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. The tag match itself was pretty decent. And in the end, it was Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss in the win. Nothing to say about that, so there you go. We get Will Hobbs versus Sean Spears being accompanied by Tully Blanchard. Will Hobbs played a good match against Sean Spears, but in the end, it was Sean Spears getting a win over Will Hobbs after targeting the knee. It was his weak, and there you go. And then he continued to attacking the knee after he won the match, after giving him the defy driver. And then Tully Blanchard hits him that middle piece thing into, so he could put in his glove, and then knocks out Will Hobbs, and that was it. We see a promo backstage by Absolute Ricky Starks talking about that Dark Allen destroyed his back with the skateboard with dumps on it, and he declares that Darby Allen cannot end him, but he promises that he will smash his face into the ground. And he says some other things too. And basically, Tony Stark, he's not only he's in the ring, but he's also good on the mic, and he's also got a good presence, a good charismatic type of swagger that he's got. So there you go. And we'll get to him later on. Where it's Ricky Starks. Because up next we get to Hybrid 2, which is Angelo and Jack Evans versus The Initiative, which is Peter Abadon, accompanied by Luke Bates and Brandon Cutler. Matches was pretty good, a good tag team match in the end with the Hybrid 2 winning the match. And there was a point where basically where The Initiative almost got in. They was going to win the first match, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Basically, TH2 basically, spoiled that one. So there you go. Then we get to straight from your mama's kitchen, Red Velvet, which she's smoking hot. Yeah, I love her look and everything. And she goes against Abadon. Now in this match, I expected Abadon to lose the dominant match, and guess what? She did. Now from the beginning, Red Velvet did get some offense. She was getting the the one up on Abadon one point, but Abadon ends up taking it to her, and then they did the spot with on the apron where Abadon grabs the arm of Red Velvet and basically slams her onto the apron, and props and credit to Red Velvet for taking that spot and for delivering it the way that she delivered it on that with the force of impact, and for selling it throughout the entire match, because after that she was done. There was no for that. There was no comeback. There was no mountain comebacks. There was none of that. She took it and she sold it to a point where she was done. There was no comeback, and I loved it. And that's something that Impact Wrestling, I mean not Impact Wrestling, that's something that AEW needs to focus on. Where it takes Abadon. Whenever Abadon does like this, I'm not just talking about on the apron, but with what she can do also in the ring. Doesn't matter if it's on the turnbuckle or on the canvas. Abadon must take control at all costs, and I'm glad it was done that way. So Abadon basically destroyed Red Velvet after that, and then she goes for a Gory's bomb neckbreaker combo, basically the Widow's Peak, but call it something else. I think they call it the cemetery drop. I think they call it the cemetery drop, something like that. Or this, I'm trying to remember how they call it, but it's basically pertains to how pertains to her gimmick, and I knew right there that's a finisher. It has to be a finisher now. And sure enough, that was a finisher. So like, yes, that's a finisher. Now, all that is her finisher regularly is there that spike around that they want her to do. Which I don't mind her that move either, but that should not be her finisher. That should be her finisher, where it tends to destroy her opponent. And that if it is called a cemetery drop, that should be her finisher move right there. And she won the finish that she move, and I guess she did, and Don wins. So there you go. We get to Dark Order versus Fabu Andre, Ryzen, and Deidre. And by the way, to the Dark Order, you have Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Boom Boom Cocobana. Match itself, I really care for the match that much. Not saying it was terrible, I just didn't care for it. But the Dark Order wins, and that's the reason why I said I didn't care for it, because I knew who was going to win this match, obviously. Lee Johnson versus Absolute Ricky Starks. Match is still pretty good, but Starks got the win, which I did. After the match, Warlow comes out, tells Lee Johnson to put on the MJF campaign button. He does, and that was it. I thought maybe they were gonna kick him out of it because he was losing matches, and basically MJF and Warlow to do it. It was the other way around. Basically, they wanted to treat him like he's part of the family. But the whole campaign. What's another thing it's called? The cabinet. There you go. Like JBL's cabinet. This is M's cabinet. So there you go. That was that one. Again, Tony Donatien. Tony Donati and Baron Black versus Proud and Powerful representing Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz. And the match itself was pretty decent. Well, teams winning, obviously. Let's say about that. Yeah, they can win against jobbers, but they can't win against best friends. I thought it was ridiculous. Jesse Sorensen. All right, I gotta spell his name right. I gotta do it afterwards. I think I just put Jesse. I'll put the I in there because that's how his name is spelled. But Jesse Sorensen, many of you may not know who Jesse Sorensen is. He used to be in TNA at the time until he had an injury that was suffered by Sima Aya, who is now being known as and he was also known as DZ, but also he's been going by the name of Joaquin Wild, who part of that faction with uh Ro Mendoza and El Fantasma, now called Santos Escobar NXT. He's from the E. And basically, it wasn't Zima Iron's fault. Probably it was a mess that happened on, let's see, I believe it was in 2011, 2010, maybe. Can't remember what year it was. Happy that when it first happened. Jesse Sorensen got hurt, on the pay-per-view, and obviously it was an accident. But he ends up getting hurt, and he had to retire after that. But he has to come because his injury, so he has to get back into the ring. A couple of years later. I don't know how long it took years off of his career to get back into the ring. I think it was about two to maybe 3 years maybe until he finally got back into the ring. And ever since he came out to the ring, a lot of wasted potential of Jesse Sorensen. Unfortunately, they try do something with him on NXT, but he's been jobbing, and I think I remember him come back to Impact Wrestling for at one point maybe. I can't remember if they or not, but they didn't do anything from there either. And let's face it, Impact Wrestling at the time when Disney were there, they did him wrong by first giving him a job for life, and then also they said this basically had to cut him. No fault of his and all that. I've been in the company at the time, but I was big on Jesse Sorensen when I first saw him, but at that injury I had nothing but respect for him, and I was also maybe he will come back instead of being retired, and like I said, he ended up coming back, but I'm not saying he didn't have any potential before, but after what they've been doing with him, and what returns to pro wrestling, with a waste of potential. Hopefully, AEW will give him that the opportunity to shine on the next AEW Dark. Hopefully, they do. I hope they decide to sign him up to Impact Wrestling. I mean to All Elite Wrestling, and and give him that chance, the opportunity that he so roughly deserved, because I believe Jesse Sorensen do have potential. So, Jesse Sorensen was supposed to team up. I mean, he put him up with John Cruz. But for whatever reason, he can't find John Cruz. He's out there. He's like John Cruz. And as soon as they were playing that part up, I thought to myself, yeah, I know it with him. Lance Archer, because it was going to be John Cruz and Jesse Sorensen versus the Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, being accompanied by Jake Robert. So, Lance Archer comes out. Sure enough, he had John Cruz on his shoulders, and slams him into the ring, and then the match began. Despite wrapping up with John Cruz, the match began. Jesse Sorensen looked good. John Cruz looked good by getting his ass kicked. Jesse Sorensen also got his ass kicked too. In the end, it was Hawk Monster getting the win, and both of them with the EBD law. Everybody dies, and Jake Robert he teased to his DDT onto John Cruz, and he's like, not doing it. Like, oh my god, you teaser. I thought that was funny though. Yeah, Billy and his son out, Austin Gunn, but then Austin Gunn was to go to the back by his father Billy, because Billy wants to go up against the Dark Order on his own, and then 5 Angels of the Dark Order. Dark Order came out, but also they went away. They were just lead 5 into there, basically Allen Angels. Which happens. Allen Angels didn't stand no chance against Billy, obviously, and Billy wins the match. I think rotates Billy Gunn. Since he can't be called Billy Gunn anymore because he's being petty that way. It's nothing they're doing with Cody Rhodes, rotates him to call Cody. But at the time, it'd be nice to hear the one and only Billy rotates to his only gimmick from WWE, which I doubt they'll have the cover of that one. But wouldn't mind they call him the one and only Billy, especially when he did the one and only slam, the clutch slam type of way, which is the one and only. So, how about bring up that nickname for Billy, the one and only Billy, and it rotates to Billy, called the American Nightmare, Cody. So why not have the one and only Billy? So, Billy wins after the match. The Dark Order comes out, not one but a few of them. They beat up Billy. Austin Gunn comes up with a steel chair and chase them off, and that was it. I guess it's supposed to be sub for a future tag match, maybe eventually on AEW Dark, but we shall see. And finally, the main event: Private Party, Isaac Cassidy and Mark Quinn teaming up with SCU, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian versus the Butcher and the Blade teaming up with the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Ray Fix. Match itself was pretty good and botch free from the Butcher, which is why I'm not him the Butcher at this point. In the end, it was the Butcher and the Blade getting the win over Christopher Daniels in the match for the team of the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros. Lucha Bros were happy that they got the win because they wanted to win. So the Butcher and Blade is like, I forget them. The Blade was saying, I forget them. We won. At the end we won. Don't be upset they didn't get the win. Screw them. That's basically what it was. And that was it. And yeah, that was the main event. It was alright. A good alright main event. So there you go. Just give me one moment, folks. $11 matches happened on AEW Dark from August 18th, 2020. For the All Elite Wrestling Review. And my overall scoring for the show, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you for watching for Is the Killer saying peace on the streets. This was for All Elite Wrestling Review. We're going to give you AEW Dark results from August 18th, 2020. Until next time, folks, we're going to do All Elite Wrestling Review. Eventually, when I get to the watching AEW Dynamite on a Saturday night, which I'll be working on that day. So I'll catch it later on. But I will get that coverage review right here on my YouTube channel eventually when I get a chance, and hopefully they'll do some good numbers. Rotate the ratings to the viewership. They're going to go up against unfortunately NXT Takeover 30th. So we'll see. But that time, you'll take care of everything that's going on in the world. God bless. Love one another. Live in peace and harmony. I am out.